My name is Albert Orange, and welcome to another episode of Pod by Orange. Gosh, I don't even know. I didn't even check which episode this would be. I think something like upper 70s, low 80s, something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But it's Sunday, May 19th, 2024. We're back here to do another episode. I already know what I'm going to talk about in this episode. And I already know what the thumbnail's going to be. I know what the title's going to be, roughly. So yeah. So hopefully you're going to be able to figure out that I'm going to talk about Tesla Cybertrucks, man. I saw one in real life, in person, yesterday, walking out of Planet Fitness after doing a full body workout. As I take a sip of water. Never mind, by the way, I'm just going to go right into it, okay? I hope everyone's having a good week, good day, whenever you're listening to this, okay? I know I've been gone for like over a month now, but here we go, we're back into it, okay? Like no time has passed, like old friends, we just pick up where we left off. Why was that so hard to say? My chair is squeaking. You're just gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry. So as I was saying, just got done with a full body workout at Planet Fitness yesterday. And I was walking out of the parking lot, and I parked my 2004 Cadillac CTS, leather interior, eggshell white paint on the outside. I parked it it was a very far parking space from the Planet Fitness. It wasn't too far, but it was far away, and it just so happened to be closest to the street. The main street where that I take to get to Planet Fitness. I guess it's technically called an avenue, so it's not a street, it's an avenue, right? So anyways, I get to my Cadillac, and I'm unlocking the Cadillac with my keychain. Right, because it's like a remote control keychain where you lock it and unlock it, right? And I'm walking towards it and I'm facing the street, and all of a sudden I look, and there's a guy in a Tesla Cybertruck blazing by right in front of me, like literally, like he must have been. I think because of my proximity to the street, the truck itself might have been like 15 feet in front of me, like at its closest, like right in front of me. It must have been like 15 feet away, and it just blazed on by, and I watched it go off into the sunset, and it was jaw-dropping and amazing and incredible, and now I want to get one. So, I'm sorry if that pisses anybody off. I'm sorry if, that makes anybody, want to trash me. Okay, that's totally fine. I don't care. If it pisses people off, all the more reason to get one. Okay? And as for the people who trash the Cybertruck, hey man, you do you. I also think it's a bit of a meme, but I really just want to get a Cybertruck just to piss people off. I think that would be so cool. Man, you had to have seen it. Like, it was the first time I ever saw one in person, in real life. Like, so far I've only seen one in um like online, social media, um a certain clip of a Mr. Beast video where he gave away a bunch of Teslas or some stuff. I don't watch Mr. Beast. Like I said, it was a clip of a Mr. Beast video. I don't know why I was watching a Mr. Beast clip. I don't know where I watched it from, but I saw it, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, like, either Mr. Beast has a couple of connections with Tesla, and he's able to get a Cybertruck, just to have one, before the release date, or the Tesla Cybertruck is out already. And I guess it's out already, So I think that's just so cool. And by the way, the guy inside driving the Tesla Cybertruck, okay, he had these sunglasses on, which made sense because he was literally driving towards the sun. And he was driving towards the sun with these sunglasses with a huge grin on his face. And the grin on his face just said it all. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I definitely will buy a Cybertruck, but this kind of influenced my opinion a little bit, Beforehand, I was just indifferent to the Cybertruck. I like that it pissed people off. I like that it, I have a younger cousin who hates Tesla, and she thinks it's the worst thing ever, and that the Tesla Cybertruck just looks so bad, and so I kind of joke with her that someday, maybe someday I'll get her a Cybertruck for her birthday or something, and that seems to annoy her, and so I like that. But aside from that, I was just indifferent towards the Cybertruck. Now I'm it would be really cool to own one because it just looks so cool, and I never saw one in real life. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe this is just a little simple infatuation, and maybe I don't know. Maybe if I get to test drive one, I wouldn't really like it, but it's nice to dream, isn't it? Right? I don't know. Let me know what you think. And it sounded so nice too. It looked really nice, and it sounded really nice. It had a nice I don't know, it just had a nice sound as it was driving as it was driving by. I assume that the guy was stepping on the pedal, it would make sense that he was, and it just sounded so nice. I bet it sounds so nice if you just give it a little rev up. Oh man, I gotta know what that sounds like. If anybody listening to this owns a Tesla Cybertruck, okay, first of all, will you let me test drive it? And second of all, what is your opinion of it? And third of all, would you recommend it? Would you recommend a Tesla Cybertruck? I know those things are crazy expensive. I think the least expensive one, if you go on the Tesla website, is I think they listed at around $60,000, and then the most expensive is basically $100K, and I think that's all before taxes. So, but I mean, still, it's a little inspirational, right? Because now, if I want one, I'm gonna have to really buckle down and work hard for it, But it's not impossible, right? Right? It might be a stupid purchase, and I might have to, sell it after a couple months after buying it. But, I don't know. Something about the thrill of owning a Cybertruck would be pretty cool. So, anyways, I think, yeah, it just looks so nice, and I've never seen one before, and so I just wanted to share that because, I was just amazed. It was incredible. It really was incredible. I hope I get to see it again one of these days as I'm walking out of Planet Fitness, or really just anywhere as I'm driving around the city. I hope I get to see it again, just to bathe in its glory, just for a second, It would be pretty awesome. And for once, it was really nice to look at something as it's heading towards you, and then to be able to keep staring at it as it's heading away from you. It was really nice to do that for once, because the other times when you could do that, you're considered a creep or a pervert, and of course I am talking about women. The fact that you can't really, and this will sound sexist and misogynistic, but the fact that you can't, you can, if a woman's walking towards you and towards your direction, you can look at them, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with them. But then if they're walking away and you keep looking back, to check them out, then it's like, it's creepy, But it's like, I think they low-key like that. That's the thing, Am I crazy? Or, they kind of like that, right? I would think that if you're, Bill Burr said it best, the comedian. He said it best. He said something that I really resonate with, and that I just remember. It just stuck with me. He said that he was basically like doing like a PSA for the ladies, and he was like, ladies, if you might get pissed that a man is looking at you as you're walking away, but someday you're gonna walk past a man, and you're gonna look back to catch him staring at you, and he's not gonna be looking back. He's just gonna be looking ahead, going on his merry way, and when that day comes, it's gonna be a sad day. And I would say that if you're the woman in that case, that might inspire you to go back to the grocery store again and get even more ice cream, because you got to deal with it somehow, right? And so I'm just saying, I know this is really sexist and objectifying. I gave you the warning for a reason, but going back to the Tesla Cybertruck, it was just really nice. It was really nice to be able to keep staring at something even after it's even when it's heading away from you. You know what I mean? Am I gonna get canceled for this? Was that really necessary to say? I don't know. It's my show. Does YouTube doesn't give you some sort of channel strike for being misogynistic? Do they? I really have been out of the loop. I've been out of the loop for on a whole bunch of stuff. I get it that Israel and Palestine, they're up to some kerfuffles. The Ukraine is like apparently losing the war or something. I don't know. I haven't really dug into that. Yeah, I have been out of the loop on so many things. Yeah, I mean, ever since I just kind of like gave up social media, and okay. Let me rephrase that. I haven't given up social media. I still go back on Instagram from time to time. Actually, kind of like every day. Every day at this point, I'm on Instagram, but only for like 10 minutes at a time. I don't ever like doom scroll at all. You know, because like first of all, I don't have an iPhone. I still don't have an iPhone. I still got my light phone. My it's by a company called Light. I think they're based in based in New York or something. So I have that. I don't have a smartphone. I have an iPad, but I don't ever go on Instagram on my iPad. The only times that when I go on Instagram nowadays are on my MacBook Pro, and it's just kind of like a different experience than it is on iPhone and mobile. It's really not that different, but as far as like the scrolling aspect of it goes, it's just I feel like it's definitely a lot easier to stop on the laptop and computer. Because when you got your iPhone, it's your iPhone. It might as well be glued to your hand. It's just an extension of you. And you're just gonna keep scrolling on the thing for hours. With the laptop, it's different. It's just you scroll for a few minutes and then you're like, all right, let's do something else. And so that's the only times when I go on social media. I do go on Instagram every day. I wish that wasn't the case, but I do go on Instagram. But it's really only for like 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And, that's only on like the really bad days when I guess, I don't know, I just want to spend time on Instagram, and that's all I want to do, even though I have other important stuff to do. So yeah, that's the only times when I'm on Instagram. I haven't been on Twitter. No Twitter. Sometimes I use Snapchat, but I mean that's I don't really talk to anybody on Snapchat anymore, so it's kind of like it's kind of pointless. I don't really, I just don't use Snapchat really. Let's see, what else? Twitter. I mean, I guess it's called X now, right? X. Facebook. I mean, I haven't used it in a long time. Facebook is just. You know what? My mother uses Facebook like all the time now. And that really annoys me. That really bothers me because now it's like, like her too, like really, like, I just, it's just sad. It's upsetting to see her, at the kitchen table, by herself, just scrolling through like, all this crap. She used to fall for advertisements and sponsored ads all the time. She would always like, look at an Amazon ad featuring like a product, like a dress that she would like, and she would want me to order that for her. And I'm like, you know what? Like, no, like it's an Amazon ad on Facebook. Like, it's not real. It's not real. It's not authentic. Right? Does that sound crazy? I don't know. I did give my mother a plant for Mother's Day. So that's anytime I give her a plant, whether it's for Mother's Day, Christmas, or birthday, it's basically a home run with her. So I think I'm doing good on that front. I don't know. I've been out of the loop. I don't use Facebook. Don't use any of that stuff. So yeah, anyways. We got some other stuff to talk about. Now that we're like, minutes removed from the misogyny for the week. Which that's not really misogynist. I mean, look, like it's just an instinctual thing that guys do, I don't think it's anything bad. Like, so what? So what if we... You know what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I made my point, and, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need... I've been given the sense of sight for a reason, okay? Like, I have eyes. I'm gonna use them, And if I'm walking past a girl that is of age, okay, and, we walk past each other, I can't, I can only resist the urge to look back for a couple seconds, and then after a while, I'm gonna turn back, okay? I'm sorry. Look, I don't ever want to make anybody uncomfortable, right? That is not my intention at all. I don't want to do that. But it's like, like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to look back after you're like 50 feet away, It's like, no, like, I'm gonna look, you know what? Again, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to explain my what's the word? My, is it inhibitions? No. My innate urges? Is that no. I'm a man, right? Like, I'm a guy. I'm a heterosexual male. Okay? It's just natural for me, to look at how, she walks away. I'm sorry, okay? I'm gonna look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know how to get out of this without, look. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but it's just like, you know what? Screw you, women. Screw you. Like, so what? So what if I do? So what if I do? You like it anyway. You like the attention. I don't have to apologize for giving you some sort of attention, That's just the reality. I'm sorry. You're gonna get looked at. And there's nothing I could do about it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that, that you're... I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking because now I don't know what to do now. We do have some other stuff to talk about. Let's talk about the Mariners. Oh gosh, I just created an earthquake with the table. Plus my chair is so squeaky. So yeah, let's just put the misogyny aside. Let's talk about the Mariners. Mariners baseball. They just lost about an hour ago to the Baltimore Orioles. I think, oh man, I think it's their second series lost, the second series loss since, since they lost to the, who'd they lose to again? Who did they lose to? Was it the Twins? I think it was the Twins. Yeah, they lost the series to the Twins. Then they played the Royals. They won the series against the Royals, but then they lost this one against the Orioles, right? And, the pitching has been, historically good. Extremely good. I mean, we don't just have one ace, We have aces. I mean, Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, who has been on fire, Bryce Miller, what do we got Brian Wu, who's coming up, I mean, it's been awesome. And then the bullpen has been doing their part as well. Andres Munoz has been incredible. And I just think that, I heard this interesting quote from somebody on a sports talk, on a sports radio show, and they were talking about the Mariners, and they were saying that because of this pitching staff, it gives us a shot against literally anybody in Major League Baseball. And so that includes good teams like I actually don't know who's good right now, but all the good teams in Major League Baseball, all the teams in their leading their division, any team with a better win record than us, literally anybody. It gives us a shot despite our, poor offensive production. So we have a lot to thank for when it comes to the pitching on the Mariners, because they're the reason that we're winning so many games, and then that leads us to the offense, right? Julio. Again, there's a thing with Julio. Who knows why he's not being as productive as we want him to be, as he is expected to be. He has hit a few home runs. He has been getting a couple of base hits and bunch of hits as of late, but. It just seems like it's not enough. We do have, guys like Josh Rojas and Luke Raley and Cal Raleigh, Ty France. They also, will drive in a couple hits, couple runs here and there. And that'll be enough for, most of the time, at least. But, it's clear that our offense is not the reason why we're winning all these games. Our offense is kind of they have been hitting their stride a little bit as of recently, and I mean very recently, as of I think it's been going on 1 or 2 weeks when they've been kind of they kind of been stepping it up, just not, it hasn't been enough for a couple games though. I think during April, though, it's just been kind of weird. It's just been I don't know, the offense just hasn't been doing, very good. So, I don't know. Both Mitch Haniger and Mitch Garver, they've been kind of struggling. So it's just been very weird. Polanco, Jorge, I think is it Jorge Polanco? We got him because he hits dingers. And I can't remember the last time that, has he hit any home runs as a Mariner so far? I don't know. It's just been weird what's been happening on offense. I don't know what you can blame. I think the narrative for the last 20 years has been, for the Mariners has been, good pitching, mediocre offense, and that's just kind of the story of these Mariners right now. Who knows? Maybe they'll be able to step it up during the summer, or at least sometime during August when they have kind of like last year when they had all those wins and win streaks, and they've been crushing it last August. Maybe they'll go back to that at some point, but as of now, I don't know what our record is, but we still have this massive road trip ahead of us. The Mariners were just in Baltimore playing against the Orioles. The next 4 games are at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees. Okay? And again, because of our pitching staff, they give us a shot against the Yankees. It's a 4-game series, by the way. 4-game series against the Yankees. We have a shot against them. I don't expect to win every single one of those games, but I do expect that we at least split with the Yankees 2 games apiece. Okay? And we're, it's just, I just hope that we can somehow find a stride here, somehow, get some hits going, get some dingers. We got bats, man. We're supposed to have bats. Let's, I hope that we can get at least a couple home runs in there, just to hand it to those Yankee fans, make them file out of their own stadium, I think it's got to happen. So, hopefully they'll be able to find their stride a little bit. The pitching's been phenomenal. I know we lost this series to Baltimore, but apparently Baltimore is good now. So who knows? We split the series 2-1, or lose the series 2-1 in that road trip. And then after the Yankees, we got the Houston Astros playing at Minute Maid Park in Houston. We got to win that one too. Again, I don't expect a sweep, but we gotta. It's the Houston Astros. It's the division rival now. We can't let them beat us. The Mariners are at the top of the AL West. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of tempted to. Okay, let's just see real quickly. Let's just see real quickly what the MLB standings are right now. If my iPad will let me make a new tab. Okay. Seattle Mariners. Let's see if the Wi-Fi works. The Wi-Fi is not working right now. I am recording in my garage, and I do only have one bar of Wi-Fi signal right now. So it's not giving me anything. But anyways, we're still, at the top of the AL West. If my calculations are correct, we should still be at the top. Let me just let this thing load until we get get the results here. So yeah, that does it for the Mariners. I still like what they're doing. I think that this team is able to go to the playoffs this year. So hopefully they do that. And okay, here we go. The Google results are pouring in. Okay, so they lost 6-3 today, a couple hours ago, against the Orioles. They let up 12 hits against the Orioles. Mariners got 9 hits, so that's cool. They did have an error. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to the standings. So they are first in the AL West. Again, this thing is still loading, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to get the standings here. The Mariners are 25-22, so just 3 games above 500. Okay, so we're doing good. We're doing good. We just got to keep this up, and not let the Texas Rangers overtake us. I was saying, I mentioned that I was at Planet Fitness yesterday, right? And I was at Planet Fitness, and I was seeing that the Rangers and the Angels were playing against each other. And when I was leaving Planet Fitness, the game was tied at 2-2 apiece. So, I wonder who won that game. This thing won't load, so I'm not going to be able to see the standings here. They did come back to beat the Orioles last night, so that's good. So like I mentioned, they did win one game yesterday against the Orioles. So we didn't get swept, but they still lost the series. So, anyways, that does it for the Mariners. They're doing good. They got to keep this up, and I believe that they will keep it up because the offense is looks to be like picking it up a little bit. So we're gonna see if they're able to do that, and I believe that they will. As for the Sounders, the Seattle Sounders, I did see the game against Vancouver last night. And it was a disappointing game. First of all, the Sounders. Oh man, I mean, where do we even start? The Sounders are not a terrible team. They're not a terrible team, but they're not, they're not like amazingly good either. I don't know what it is. I did see that, they had the return of Pedro de la Vega come back after, and that kid's, he scored the first Sounders goal of the season against LAFC in Week 1. But then he got injured. He was out for like 6 weeks. And then he was good. And then apparently he injured himself again. And that took him out for like another month. And it wasn't until last night when Brian Schmetzer subbed the kid in the second half. And the kid was just all over the place, man. I mean, he was left, right, and center. And so he I believe that this kid is going to do wonders for the team. But what was I going to say after that? So Pedro de la Vega is back, which is good to see. It's good to hear. Hopefully he doesn't get injured yet again, because then, that's just not going to be good. The officiating was controversial. It was controversial last night at Lumen Field. I think the MLS is still, they're still using like stand-in referees, because like the regular referees, like, they had like a disagreement with the MLS a couple days prior to the start of the season, and I guess they're still like not. Actually, I don't know for sure if that's still going on, if that dispute is still going on. Last I heard, the MLS is using the minor league referees, bunch of the minor league referees, and it certainly felt like a minor league officiating yesterday night. And here's the thing. Like the reason why, so the game ended in a tie. Okay, at 1-1. Okay. But the most disappointing thing about this tie is Seattle had the lead for basically the entire freaking game. The entire game, they had a lead. Okay. And I think it is someplace in the second half, okay? Sometime in the second half, this Vancouver player had a handball. It was very clearly a handball within the penalty area. I think in the penalty box, okay? And, their own penalty box. So that should have been a penalty in favor of the Sounders, right? Because the ball hit the dude's elbow while the elbow was away from the body. So that should have been called a handball. And they didn't freaking call it. And then, fast forward to, a couple minutes before the end of the game. I think in the 92nd minute, okay, in stoppage time, Nuhu was going in for a slide tackle, okay? The Vancouver player that Nuhu was trying to tackle kicked the ball, it hit Nuhu's elbow. So it was the same situation within the penalty box, within the penalty area. It's basically the same situation, okay? Except this time, that was called. That was called. So they called a penalty in favor of Vancouver. So I don't understand, I'm not arguing the call, okay? It was very clearly a handball against Nuhu, right? And Nuhu is, a player from Cambodia, right? Or it was Cambodia or Cameroon, one of those. I'm not sure which. I apologize. But they call the penalty against Seattle. And I'm not arguing the call. But the thing is, they go to review the thing. Okay? And I don't know. They never even took a second look at the play that should have been against Vancouver. The one that I mentioned earlier, where the Vancouver player had the handball. They didn't take a look at that. but they did go ahead and take a look at the home team. You know? And it's like, it was so frustrating because it looked like the entire game, it felt like Seattle was going to win the game, you know? And that should have been... It first should have been a penalty against Vancouver. If you wanted to call a penalty against Seattle, you know, you should have made sure to call the penalty against Vancouver. Okay? Or at least take a look at it. They never even took a look at it. But they take a look at it, you know, with the handball against Nuhu. So what gives? You know? It was so bad. It was such a BS outcome. That should have been ours, you know? And then, of course, Vancouver, you know, they you know, they're able to score the penalty kick. You know, we have one of the best goalkeepers in the league, probably in the world, in Stephen Fry. He couldn't block it, but you know what? Nobody's blaming him, okay? Because it's a penalty kick. And it's just like, dude, I mean, it would have been so freaking awesome if Stephen Fry blocked that, but, you know, that should have been 3 points for us, and we, you know, the MLS, whatever referee that they were using, they decided no, only 1 point for you guys. So that was really bad. That should have been 3 points for us. And against Vancouver too, like that's a Cascadia Cup game, you know. I mean, you know, that just sucked. That really sucked. Jordan Morris with the goal. There was like a pinball back and forth situation. I think in the first half, a couple minutes in, early in the game, and Jordan Morris put the finishing touch in there for a point, for a goal for Seattle. And it stayed like that the entire game, you know. And I don't think anybody's blaming Nuhu either. You know, he was going for the slide tackle, but, you know, if your arm is like up against, you know, away from your body and the ball hits you, you know, that there's very little you could do about that. I mean, I guess he could have, like, you know, tucked it in and stuff, but it's like, you know, I don't know. It was very disappointing. They cut to a lady in the crowd, this Seattle fan, and here I go with the objectification here for women again. This will be objectifying towards women. What I'm about to say. I don't know if I would have found her attractive if I saw her, you know, just in her normal resting state, you know, of, you know, just being a regular person. But she was yelling at the referee. You know, she wasn't anywhere close to the referee, at least not that I could tell, as far as I could tell. But when she was yelling, when she was just, you know, yelling her heart out, that you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, that looked very attractive. You know, looked very attractive to me. Again, I'm sorry. You know, I told you this would be objectifying women. I'm sorry. Okay, it was a comment that I decided to say on my own show, and it's my show, and you can't do anything about it. And if you don't like it, leave. leave. If you don't like it, leave. Alright? I wish we could make these MLS referees come back, but we can't. And we can't make these minor league... Let me just look it up. Let me look it up here. Hold on. MLS referees. Is it gonna load? No, it's not gonna load. I literally... Okay, I have 2 bars of Wi-Fi signal. It's not gonna load. I'm just gonna assume that the MLS is still using minor league referees, minor league officials. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They hold on. MLS referee lockout officially ends. League agrees to 7-year CBA with pro and okay. So I guess they did go back to the regular referees. I think as of March 26th. Again, my spotty internet is not going to let me have the results right away. Okay. Well, assuming that was a regular MLS official, it was still so bad. It was just not. It was not fair. There were some other calls that the dude made too, where against Seattle. It just shouldn't have been against Seattle. Like I'm trying to remember. There was this one play where, this one instance where I can't remember if it was Reagan with the ball. I think it might have been Reagan. If he was playing, it was somebody on the Sounders team. They had the ball, and then this Vancouver guy comes up, at his side, and I don't know, the Sounders player ducked, and then he kind of ducked a little bit to kick the ball. I don't know if he noticed the dude running towards him. But the Vancouver guy kind of jumped over him, over his back, and then landed on the ground and pretended to be hurt. And then somehow that gets called against Seattle. Because the guy landed, and pretended to be hurt. And it's look, I get it, soccer players do that all the time. But there was nothing that Seattle that Seattle Sounders player could have done. He wasn't trying to push him down or anything. The dude barely even noticed the Vancouver player. Yet somehow that gets called against Seattle. So I don't know. It was such a bad game. It was such a badly officiated game, and it really should not have happened that way. And Seattle got robbed. That's the headline. Seattle got robbed. Seattle got robbed. The Sounders got robbed. Anyways, that's all I got for sports talk this time around. Let's see. We went over the Tesla Cybertruck. I objectified women, talked about the Mariners, talked about the Sounders. I have no idea if the Sounders are even going to make the playoffs this season. Hopefully, with Pedro de la Vega coming back, we will, because that kid is going to be all over the pitch. pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Like maybe we still have a chance. But for now, it's just like I don't know. The Sounders are in like what place are they in? I think they're in like 10th place in the Western Conference, which is just not what we want. So yeah, and then you know what? Winning against Vancouver could have shot us up by like a couple places. It probably could have shot us up to like 8th place or something like that. Didn't happen because it was such a badly officiated game. Anyways, who knows what will happen with the Sounders. Again, I think the Seattle Mariners are going to make the playoffs this year, provided that everyone stays healthy. It doesn't. I just don't see them, just all of a sudden start playing horribly, anytime soon. So I might have just jinxed it, but, that's just how I feel. So yeah, anyways, hockey season is over, and the Kraken aren't even in the playoffs because they were bad. They fired their head coach. They're going to look for another one. Hopefully they do better next year. The Seahawks are, they're back to training camp and stuff. So that's good. Good to hear. We had that amazing draft class, Byron Murphy II, Christian Haynes, AJ Barner, all of those guys are all Seahawks. We got them. We got it in the bag this year. We're going to go undefeated. The schedule released, the NFL schedule released earlier this past week. So, that's some pretty interesting news. We got the home opener against the Broncos this year again, and if we lose that game, like that's it. Like I'm just abandoning all hope of winning a Super Bowl. I don't even think that the Seahawks are gonna win a Super Bowl this year. But if we have a good start, if we have if we win 10 games this season, we're definitely playoff bound. Will we win a playoff game? I think that's on the table. I think that's definitely on the table. But I think, it's so early to tell. I'm going to predict that the Seahawks finally win a playoff game after, I don't know, 6-7 years. Okay, they're going to finally win a playoff game this year. I don't expect them to go all the way, but I do think that they should win a playoff game. They're going to go, let's see, they're going to go, I'm trying to think of their win record. How many games are they going to win? Yeah, I'd say 10-7 are. That's a reasonable number for the Seahawks this year. Yeah, 10-7. Provided everyone stays healthy. Because if that doesn't happen, we're kind of screwed, So, anyways, Coach McDonald, John Schneider, they know what they're doing. They had a good draft. I'm not mad at any of the picks. I would have taken Troy Fontanu, over Byron Murphy, just because Troy Fontanu, worked with Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb is our new OC. You know, I would have done that, but I'm not mad at the Byron Murphy pick. I think it's a wonderful pick. We're strengthening the trenches, focusing on the areas that we need to focus on the most. I think it's great. That's my opinion on that. I gotta end this episode here, right now. Again, I forgot which episode number this is, but I'll figure it out later. You'll see it on at the title and the thumbnail. Okay. Let me know what you think about the Tesla Cybertruck. Let me know what you think about women. Let me know what you think about the Mariners, Sounders, and Seahawks, and the Kraken. And we got apparently the Seattle Supersonics might come back, hopefully. So that'll be pretty cool, even though the NBA is rigged. Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe. Take care. Adios.